Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're re-embarking on an epic journey back in time to witness the incredible story of Rome's rise. How did a small city-state on the Italian peninsula grow to become one of the most powerful empires the world has ever known? Let's find out in the next 10 minutes. Our story begins around the 8th century BC, with the legendary founding of Rome by Romulus and Remus. For its first few centuries, Rome was a monarchy, ruled by a series of kings. But the Roman people grew tired of absolute rule. In 509 BC, they overthrew their last king, Tarquin the Proud, and established something revolutionary, a republic. The word republic comes from the Latin res publica, meaning public affair. Power was no longer in the hands of one person. Instead, it was shared. The government was headed by two consuls, elected annually, who held executive power. This prevented any single individual from becoming too dominant. Then there was the Senate, a powerful advisory body made up of Rome's most experienced statesmen and aristocrats, known as patricians. And finally, there were various assemblies where Roman citizens, the plebeians, could vote on laws and elect officials. This system wasn't perfect, of course. For centuries, there was a struggle for power between the wealthy patricians and the common plebeians, known as the conflict of the orders. The plebeians fought for more rights and representation, and slowly but surely, they won significant victories. They gained their own representatives, the tribunes, who could veto actions of the consuls. And eventually, the laws were written down for all to see in the 12 tables. This ongoing struggle shaped Roman society and its political system, making it more flexible and, in many ways, stronger. With a relatively stable government at home, Rome began to look outward. Its first major challenge was to dominate the Italian peninsula. Through a series of wars and strategic alliances over nearly 200 years, Rome conquered its neighbors, including the Etruscans to the north and the Greek colonies to the south. What made Rome so successful? It wasn't just its powerful and disciplined army, the legions. It was also its clever policy towards the conquered. Instead of just enslaving everyone, Rome often offered forms of citizenship or ally status, integrating defeated peoples into its growing system. This created a vast pool of manpower and resources that fueled further expansion. Once Italy was secure, Rome's ambition collided with another great power in the Mediterranean, Carthage. This city-state in modern-day Tunisia controlled a vast maritime and trade empire. The resulting conflict, known as the Punic Wars, was a struggle for survival and dominance that spanned over a century. Everyone knows the story of Hannibal, the brilliant Carthaginian general who crossed the Alps with elephants and inflicted devastating defeats on the Romans. For a moment, it seemed Rome was on the brink of collapse, but Rome's resilience was incredible. They refused to surrender, adapted their strategies, and eventually took the fight to Carthage itself. The Roman general Scipio Africanus finally defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC, ending the Second Punic War. After a final brutal Third Punic War, Rome utterly destroyed Carthage in 146 BC. With its greatest rival gone, Rome was the undisputed master of the Western Mediterranean. It then turned its attention east, conquering Greece and the Hellenistic kingdoms that had emerged from Alexander the Great's empire. By the middle of the 2nd century BC, Rome's influence stretched from Spain to Anatolia. But this rapid expansion came at a cost. The vast wealth pouring in from conquered provinces created massive inequality. Huge plantations worked by slaves called latifundia drove small farmers off their land and into the overcrowded cities, creating a volatile urban poor. The republican system, designed for a small city-state, began to buckle under the strain of governing a vast territory. This period, known as the Late Republic, was marked by intense political turmoil and civil war. Powerful generals, who commanded armies loyal to them rather than the state, began to dominate politics. Figures like Marius and Sulla fought for control of Rome, shedding Roman blood on an unprecedented scale. Then came the First Triumvirate, an informal alliance between three powerful men: Pompey the Great, a renowned general; Crassus, the richest man in Rome; and a rising political star named Gaius Julius Caesar. Caesar was a brilliant military strategist and a charismatic politician. His conquest of Gaul in modern-day France brought him immense fame, wealth, and a battle-hardened army. Fearing his growing power, the Senate, led by Pompey, ordered him to disband his army and return to Rome. Caesar faced a choice: obey and face political ruin, or defy the Senate and march on Rome. In 49 BC, he made his decision. He led his legion across the Rubicon River, the northern boundary of Italy, uttering the famous words, Alia iacta est, the die is cast. This act plunged Rome into another devastating civil war. Caesar swiftly defeated Pompey and his allies, chasing them across the Mediterranean. By 45 BC, he was the undisputed master of the Roman world. He was declared dictator for life and began a series of reforms to address Rome's problems. But his accumulation of power seemed to many like a return to the monarchy the Republic was founded to prevent. On the Ides of March 44 BC, a group of senators, fearing he would declare himself king, assassinated him in the Senate House. His death, however, did not restore the Republic. Instead, it led to yet another power vacuum and more civil war. This time, the key players were Caesar's grandnephew and adopted heir Octavian and Caesar's most trusted general, Mark Antony. They initially allied to hunt down Caesar's assassins, but their partnership soon crumbled into rivalry. The final showdown came in 31 BC at the naval battle of Actium. Octavian's forces, commanded by his brilliant admiral Agrippa, decisively defeated the combined fleets of Antony and his ally, the Egyptian Queen Cleopatra. With his last rival gone, Octavian returned to Rome as the sole ruler. But he was clever. He knew that Romans were wary of titles like king or dictator, so he carefully maintained the illusion of the Republic. He called himself princeps, or first citizen, and claimed he was merely restoring order. In 27 BC, the Senate granted him the title Augustus, meaning the revered one. This moment is what most historians mark as the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire. Under Augustus, the long era of civil wars finally ended, and the period of unprecedented peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana or Roman peace began. This golden age would last for over 200 years. The Roman Empire, born from the ashes of the Republic, would go on to shape Western civilization in law, language, architecture, and government in ways that still resonate today. And that, in just under 10 minutes, is the whirlwind story of how Rome transformed from a small republic into a mighty empire. It's a tale of ambition, conflict, and genius that changed the course of history forever. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. See you in the next video.